live again. Hi, Cheyenne. I've got it on selfie cam right now. And Cheyenne is working on some of her handle material. She's got some projects coming up I want to show you real quick. Some of the saw blade steel knives that we've been working on. She's kind of using them as prototypes and has some more affordable alternatives to some of the semi-customs. I've been working on some of those myself, some Damascus blanks, and then some nice little utilitarian knives. And for a while, we've been working on some other projects. Now, Cheyenne got hers done for Blade Show, but some of them I wanted to take to Blade Show, I didn't get to finish. We just didn't have the time. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take some handle material. This is actually, I'm pretty sure it's maple that I got from James Davis. And I don't have much of his handle material left, but I am going to use it. So what I have already done, let me turn this around. I've already bored consecutive holes in this block, and now I need to make that fit. Why do we have a smoker in here? Because that's how Cheyenne cures her handle material. I've got to make it fit this falchion. And the guard is actually in some phosphoric acid right now. Phosphoric acid solution. There's my neutralizing bucket. But how am I going to make this work? Well, guys, it's not overly difficult. Let me get this in the vise real quick. In the vise, there's a forge. And what I'm going to do, I have a 1080 blade blank that I haven't finished this yet. And I'm going to do a burn through. So what I do is I check with my caliper, and I check with my caliper. So I'm going to heat this tang instead of heating this tang, which is already heat treated, that blade rather. I want to heat this tang because I'll tell you what, I hate that blade shape. It is terrible. It is ugly. I mean, for God's sake, that blade right there, that blade blank makes me look like a real sexy bitch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reforge that blade, and in the process, before I do that, I'm going to heat that tang, and I'm going to use it as part of my burn through. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's going to get interesting. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to hand this off to Cheyenne so she can do a little bit of camera work. Gotta do some burn through. While I'm trying to find the right pair of is to get that into the forge, but then look for the right pair of tongs. Well, I use these quite a bit, so we're going to figure out where I look it up and grab around the bar stock. Chances are they're right here in the floor. So this is going to allow me to grab around the bar stock, handle it a little better. I am going to put gloves on, which are right by Cheyenne. And the reason I'm putting these on is because there is a possibility that I may have to extinguish this. Now, one thing you may have noticed with that particular tank, it's a lot longer than this one. So I'm actually going to be doing a couple of burn throughs. The other burn, I will probably use this blank right here and come up from the bottom. And I know this is far from perfect on sizing, but once that gets up to temp, I'm going to go ahead and burn down into that piece. Let me go ahead and grab my, I'm going to grab my sword blade over here, or Cheyenne's grabbing my sword blade. And this is my Talon Falchion. So it's kind of talon shaped, it kind of curves down almost like a gambit. Imagine making a gambit this big, maybe I should do that. But I'm going to take this particular sword blade and fit it into this handle. Now clearly it doesn't fit right now. I've got the guard in some phosphoric acid that I'll be neutralizing that. So you can kind of see fit up. Now this is very blocky because it's taken from a handle block, if that makes sense. Which this would be the mate to that. So it's going to end up getting used for something else cool. What? I don't know yet, but I will find out soon. Alright guys, first burn, and I don't think it's going to take too much. I'm putting that right back into the forge because I want to check this. I think I got enough wiggle room that I can justify turning this around and taking a chance on it. So, let's go ahead and pull this blade out. I'm just going to let it rest there for now. Once more. I'm going to take my caliper. And I'm not going to come here to the end. I'm going to go about halfway. Or not halfway. I want to go up 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And I'm going to compare that. That'll work just fine. Now I can either burn straight down or I can burn up. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. But being that I use 3 consecutive holes on top and 2 on bottom, I think it's probably a better idea to burn up from here. And that way I'm not burning away material I don't need to. Any questions, comments?
Lama Cara says hello.
How's it going? I'm going to have one of my super drinks here. It's a cheap carbonated water. I like these.
And always, if you're going to do something like this, make sure you stay hydrated.
Hydration is very important. Now, some people say don't do a burn through. It's going to weaken your material. This is stabilized maple. It should be fine. And don't let your material burn. All right. Boys and girls, let's find out how well that worked or if it did. Definitely got some more burn to do. All right. That happens. So this time I'm going to come down from the top. I'm going to get that just a little bit hotter. Now if I have to, I will forge a false tang to burn through this because it's worth my while to do so. This is how I put a square or rather squared rectangular hole in my material. back and forth to burn it a little bit. I am thinking I'm probably going to have to forge a replica of the tank to really get this the way I want it. But before I do that, I want to try to determine where it's catching. And it almost looks like it's catching on the end.
Dakukan Arslan says Ottoman Empire Yatagan knife.
We will do a Yatagan. Hell, we might do a Yatagan out of that piece right there. I'm going to reforge.
I was going to say Yatagan was the very first sword I ever did.
Yep, that Yatagan was Cheyenne's first sword she ever forged. Because you've got a few things interesting by doing weird stuff. So we do. But not quite.
Is it the width?
So I'm going to assume, for the most part, that I'm pretty close, but I don't know how close. So running this on its side, I'm going to come in, apply some pressure with that burning tool.
Actually looks kind of cool on camera.
Work it back and forth. I know somebody out there got turned on. That was not the intent.
The glistener, which is the wrong thing to bring up right after you do that, but he asked,
experience a burning sensation, seek medical treatment.
They put, what metals do you work with?
What metals? Right now, this blade is 1080 high carbon. So on the low end, we generally will work with like 1075. From there, we also do Sanmai, we do Damascus, so we do meteorite, we do wrought iron, we do a lot of stuff like that. But as far as blade steels, a lot of times 1080, 1085, 1095, 52-100 on occasion, 5160, 9260, 8670. One of my favorites now is 80 CRV2. Multiple types of Damascus from repurposed materials and also from
really weird stuff.
From all new stock. So 15 and 20 usually for the contrast, unless I'm doing a meteorite, and in that case, meteorite, nickel iron meteorite. We do copper at times. We'll do copper plates. So one thing I'm seeing right here is part of my issue is the thickness of my tank. So it's over thick right here.
That's awesome.
Two things I can do. One, I can grind my tank down, or I can try to make this hole bigger. I'm going to do a little both. First, I'm going to just slim that tank down just to even it out. Because one, I don't want to change the structural integrity of the piece.
Dagukan Arslan put N690 steel.
8690?
They put N690.
N690. Okay, it's Europe.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'm not sure what's the carbon content on that, because N690, would that be like E45 is equivalent to our 1045 here. N690, is that, if it has nickel in it, I would assume that's probably a higher alloy. Something we probably wish we could get.
Armando put, this dude is just oozing badass vibes. Yes, Armando, yes he is.
Okay. So I'm going belt and do my damnedest not to slip while doing this.
Dr. Khan, we have done several camp knives.
And I'm just going to thin that thing down slightly.
Dr. Khan put camp knife.
Hell of a camp knife right there.
Hi, Jay Shard.
I'm just going to thin this down slightly right here. Thinning that down.
Thank you, Jay Shard. And Erwin, I can agree.
Now, I didn't do much. One thing I could do would be take these corners off.
Erwin says Superman has nothing on this man of steel. Listener put, where do you sell?
What's that?
Where do you sell?
Where do I sell? You can comment. I sell here at my store. I sell on Facebook. You can Iron Mountain Metal Craft, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. You can find us at Axon Main Porch Memory and message us on Facebook. Or you can find me on my personal page. Now, this piece is not sharpened yet, although I do have to be cautious about this. Now, that did make a difference. That did improve things. So I'm going to set this to the side. Tank is hot. And one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to straighten it out just a little bit. And I just make these out of rebar, as you can probably see.
94 Moreno, hello.
And I'm setting that to the side. What I'm going to do next, I want to do just a little more of a burn on that one. And if this doesn't work, I guess I want to forge something out. But I may try taking the corners off that tank, because one, that's going to make that tank a little bit stronger, because it's not going to be as prone to stress rising. And in fact, while that's heating up, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these sharp corners off.
Dogged Condor Slim put, do you have a Damascus work you made? I would be very happy if you could show it. You know what, Dogged Con? I will grab a very special blade that we can show you.
You have some Damascus. Go ahead and take them over there.
Well, I was going to have... Okay.
No. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm going to carry you guys with me. And I'm going to flip the camera. Screw it. Now, Dustin, you want to describe this one real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't remember what all yours has in it.
Okay, that has, it's Meteorite Damascus, 1095, 15 and 20.
Yes.
100-plus-year-old wrought iron fittings and human femur bone for the handle.
Let me see if I can show you guys that. That is his piece. And this is actually one of my pieces. That is stabilized mammoth rib bone that has the gnaw marks for an animal killed unaided. 1 full ounce of silver for the bolster. The Damascus is actually meteorite, excavated Viking relic blade, 1095 powder, and fossil Damascus, and in the bolster there's a 6.25 cabochon emerald put into it.
6.25 carat.
A carat, thank you.
Right. Okay.
And that's just a few of our work. Oh, no problem, Dakugan.
Okay. So while Cheyenne was doing that, I actually got this to fit in just a little better, and it's not looking like much now. But let's see what we can do to this. Now, I don't intend on grinding any more on that blade. I'm going for a rustic piece, kind of. Well, I mean, anyone who saw Lord of the Rings and sees a reverse falchion probably starts thinking about orcs or something along those lines. At least I do, but I'm boring that way. Next step of the process, I need to neutralize my guard, which has been sitting in phosphoric acid over here, getting a nice patina to it. I'm really looking forward to this. Cheyenne, why don't you show them some of your handle material real quick, because I've got to go grab some gloves.
Okay, I guess I'm dragging you guys around again. Oh, actually, I'll bring you guys over to the pretty stuff. Good. Okay. Have fun with that, love lava. So these were actually twin pieces. Most of these are dyed and stabilized walnut pearl. Did you get your gloves, Dustin?
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll turn them to you.
All right, so I'm actually going to be down here, kind of on in the floor. Now, whether I can get back up after this is going to be the real challenge, I suppose. So this is a forged mild steel guard with the Talon theme. It complements the piece. It really does. And I didn't want to finish it out too much. As I said, I wanted to do kind of a semi-rustic piece. And I decided to go with a phosphoric acid etch. Now this is half phosphoric, half white vinegar. And we use this at different times when we do Damascus, but also when we're trying to age a piece. So I'm going to see if I get the results that I want. What I have here is baking soda water. You can maybe be able to see the baking soda in the bottom of it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come in here.
Dogu Kong, you are doing absolutely fine, hon.
And I'm going to pull this out. Now you can see this was actually quite bright. And how corrosive is it? Can you see that on the floor? You see how it reacts with the concrete, and it smells quite sour. So here, going right into the neutralization solution. And I'm getting a lot of bubbles.
And what is your neutralization?
Neutralization is baking soda water. So sodium bicarbonate. Or no, it'd be calcium bicarbonate. I'm sorry. It's baking soda, and there's more of it than what I need, and that's probably a little bit obvious because it's still sitting on the bottom. I did kind of degrease this at first. I've got a nice patina to it. That's fairly even, so I'm pretty happy with that.
That's looking good.
I'm liking it. So,
and that was shiny beforehand, correct?
yeah, this was a bright piece beforehand, And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave this down in the neutralization solution for just a little bit longer, and I'm going to dispose of these gloves because they did have acid on them. No. And then I'm going to dry that off and likely go ahead and oil it.
Might be a good idea.
So what I'm looking at is, what's my next step? Well,
Kyle K says baking soda and sodium bicarbonate. You were right.
is it sodium bicarbonate? Okay, cool. Okay. So what's the next step of the process here? I guess the next step of the process is going to be, how do I want to trim this down? Now, I've got a couple wormholes right here, so I'm assuming I'm going to end up grinding part of this away in the process, which may require some additional fit up. But what kind of handle profile am I going for? And I'm essentially just going to go for...
And guys, that is not a crack on the bottom of the handle material. That is where he scored it to be able to drill it. No, on the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom part?
Yeah, right here. That's just where he scored it so that he could keep his drill points even.
Okay, so what I'm looking at probably doing on this, I'm actually going to use the top of the display case over here. I'm just going to kind of taper that for the cut. So it should come out to be about 1.5 hands, which I'm okay with. I actually kind of like those swords. And hopefully this survives it, because there's always a chance, there is always that chance that I could get too close. But right now, that block isn't going to work too well. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to go to the back to cut this. Cheyenne, do you want to talk to him a little bit about anything? I'll be right back.
Daguka input, what do you think about the Turk's steelworking skills?
As far as crucible steels?
Actually, I want to try crucible steel.
So, well, we do use crucible steels, but when you start looking at the Wootz steel...
Wootz is what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with Wootz steel, I think it's a really interesting material, and it was far ahead of its time. The sulfides caused issues as far as grain growth, but in many of those ancient examples, the alloys had natural occurring vanadium contamination, allowing to air harden. Upon further inspection, you have nanofibers and nanotubes, nanotechnology, before they knew what nanotechnology was. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the Ulfbert sword. I did have a Wootz sword at one point. Life happens and I don't have that anymore, but very, very interesting material.
And Dagukan, you were actually asking earlier about camp knives, so I will show you some of his that he actually has available. Though, these are kind of cool. He just finished these guys out. He hasn't even been able to post those online, so you guys get to see them first. Let me move that so the lighting. But you were talking about camp knives, and he has all of these available. A lot of them are Purple Heart, Exotic Woods. And they're just fun. Then he has the big boys. Lots and lots of goods. And then we do have the antler version. There's elk antler and I believe whitetail deer. Then his railroad spike knife. And each knife that we have in here is handcrafted. But yeah. And see, I'm a little bit younger than him, so I don't get stuck in the floor like he does. And those are all dyed and stabilized handle material. Yeah, that's some of the fun stuff that we do. And then a lot of our dyed and stabilized handle material is actually right down here. All fun stuff in the forge. I was showing off your camp knives.
Very cool. Okay, so I just went ahead and did a quick taper on this. I may have probably knocked the blade off the bandsaw or broke it. I don't know. We just put that on there, so we'll find out soon enough. And now I'm going to kind of look at my bit up. And that's going along with the curvature there. I'm liking that. Let me go ahead and come over here and pull this out of...
So, Dagu Kamput, I'd like to improve my English by chatting with you. Maybe I can teach you some Turkish too. I'll participate in broadcasts.
Perhaps. Okay.
And now what are you doing?
So, the blade, it almost looked like blades. The guard for this sword has been setting in the neutralization solution, and I'm just going to kind of dry it off. And I just got kind of got this even gray patina. It looks
almost stone washed.
Yeah, it does. And that's one reason I use the phosphoric acid instead of the ferrochloride. Now, we use ferrochloride a lot with our Damascus, and what I found is that the phosphoric acid seems to etch a little more even, and it appears to be less streaking, but it doesn't give the same contrast as the ferrochloride. So, let's go ahead and spray this down with some oil or something real quick. Hey, look, you know what I have right here? I've got some Wolf Premium oils. We picked these up at Blade Show. And I'm actually going to use the all-in-one gun oil and cleaner because this kind of has that blued or parkerized looking finish to it. So I imagine that will help preserve that in the meantime. And of course I can always degrease this if I need to. And I'll be totally honest, I was thinking gunmetal, so that may also be the reason that I was like, oh, well, gunmetal, I'll use gun oil. So I'm just going to let that set. All right, so for the time being, that's going to hopefully preserve that. I mean, it seemed to went on well.
And can you show them the bottle of what you were using?
So that's the Wolf Premium Oils all-in-one gun oil and cleaner. What we use a lot on our knives is actually this knife care, which we will be purchasing some of that in bulk, exclusively for shop use.
And it even works on ballad songs.
So
I'm gonna put you guys back in this.
let's go ahead and get an idea about how this is fitting up. Now this is a hot fit guard, and what that means.
Oh, hold on! I accidentally hit green screen. Oh crap! How do I fix that again?
Now you did it.
No, hold on.
So this has some space.
Oh, thank God.
It's got some gap right there. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and start working this handle down.
Sorry about that, guys.
And I'm hoping that's not getting corrosion on it, but I'm going to stick this in a stump.
I don't want to go back to green screen.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grind this down just a little bit.
Where would you like them?
That is up to you. All right, this is a pretty good 36. I don't think I want to load it up.
Where or how are you going to be grinding?
At the grinder, and basically the same way you were.
Okay, so you want them over
So
there
this one's
then?
kind of loaded up a little bit. I'm going to use it. So I'm using a worn 36, and we wouldn't use the blades anymore. But I'm going to start working it down.
We are located in central Illinois. Definitely maple.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Yes, there's a defect there. That may come off later. This may get all glued together and leather wrapped. I don't know yet. I'm just going to start breaking these hard edges. What I haven't said for a while is if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button.
So the wood is actually maple. Hi Dominic, hi Jack. So QM is working currently on a handle for a knife, sorry. I guess I should have specified. It's for a falchion sword.
So I don't want to get this too thin. I want to make sure I've got a robust handle here, but at the same time, I can't have it too bulky. You got to be able to grip it.
So you're trying to find the happy medium.
Right. Now here, this is, that's not comfortable. It's still too wide. It's also got a strong tank. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead, come in here and work on narrowing that down just a bit. It's important to find where your hand fits. Does your hand fit? Now the swell right here on the back is good, but this is still going to have to come down a little bit in this area right here.
Now, Bone Shaker, you put working late into the night. We have to do it trying to avoid the heat, especially with our forge being 1500 to 2200 degrees. Summer heat plus the forge doesn't make a fun time. So we kind of do it when our store closes. We do it at night. We're usually up till about 2 a.m.
Alright guys, the gloves are coming off.
Hold on, Dustin. They want a better angle. See if I can kind of sneak around so you guys can actually see it. Well, kind of.
Still quite bulky here. Now I will use gloves when I'm doing this in most cases, because if I slip and hit this belt, it's going to eat me. Literally. So I have to be very cautious and not apply too much pressure, and be very aware of my surroundings and all. I had people earlier today, they're like, you need to be wearing gloves. It's like, the issue is, if it gets caught in that serrated wheel, it's going to take whatever it grabs.
We definitely stay hydrated here. That may actually be something we may look into for when we're grinding. That might actually, or even forging.
So this actually, this don't feel too bad. I think what I'm going to do, because I really can't make that much smaller without starting to affect the integrity of that handle. And I'm thinking that I do have small hands, so that if it's comfortable to me that if it fits my hand too well, it may not fit somebody else's who's of normal size, or as my people call them, giants.
Hey, we're in our Hobbit era.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead. Let's come over here real quick.
Hold on.
Just rotate her on around.
Hold on, Dustin. I'm trying. There we go.
And this is what I'm looking at right here. Now, I don't have that much further to go on here. If I drive it on, chances are I could potentially split this handle material. So what I'm thinking I should do is I should cautiously take that tang down just a little bit. All right. So I'm going to do this on a slack grind.
All right, bring him back around.
Yeah, you can go right on over there. So guys, I'm going to underback this. You may or may not be able to see well with it.
Oh, they can see just fine.
Okay, so mostly just kind of thin that tang down on the whip. I still got a substantial tang. I've got radius shoulders. Let's see if that worked. Now my blade isn't sharpened yet, but
So Conway, he's working on that falchion sword. I think you were playing with it when you were in the shop.
all right, guys. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's a big boy.
I really am. Now I've got some leveling to do. There's a little bit of unevenness, but I'm okay with this. Now I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for the pommel. Now I'm seeing that there's a real possibility I could lose a 1/4 inch or so up here just to get rid of that defect, and that's going to lengthen that slightly. So the question is, what do I want to do? I mean, I've got a bastard sword grip right here, essentially.
Exactly, Bone Shaker. It's a huge one for killing orcs.
It's a hell of an orc sword. And I've got another falchion and a companion knife over there that is coming together, but it's not there yet.
Dominic asked, how are you going to fasten it with?
So this is what I'm looking at on this particular piece. If you got to bring it closer, you can.
I didn't know if you were coming back and I didn't want to try to trip or make them dizzy.
At this point, I'm probably pretty good because this is nice handle material. I can sand it down and oil finish it, and it's actually going to look nice. In fact, I may even carve the handle. But what I'm looking at, is being that I have the tang protruding here, and that I do really well want to make it a battle-ready sword, this is what I'm looking at process-wise. I'm going to sharpen the blade.
Thank you, Lions Fish Shop, for subbing.
It's just going to be the just a saber grind. It's not going to be really blended in. But so the secondary bevel, or rather the primary bevel, is just going to kind of run out to the edge. It will be obvious because I do want that. I may come in here and put a false edge on the back. And I'm thinking that I could do a back edge right here, and that would look cool. So being that this is not edge quenched, that should work fine. Turn this a little bit so you can see it. Thank you. To fasten it, this is what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on heating the end of the tang and softening it a lot. And then I'll have a pommel that fits down onto this, and it will be cold peened in place. that is my plan. Now, whether that happens or not, we'll find out. The other option would be to go ahead and weld, braze, or rivet an extension to that tang and
Bone Checker
thread.
says, drink, damn it.
I had some people ask earlier today, how many knives do you make? Well, I got my 10 together, so I figured, why the hell shouldn't I just work on some of the sword projects here? I don't make a lot of swords, but I do it. I like making them. I just don't sell as many in comparison to hunting knives. I've got friends that make more swords than they do knives, and they sell more swords than they do knives. So, it just kind of depends. The other thing that I might do would be I might make a Talon type. I could make a pommel that fits down onto this, and then I would drill the side and pin it. That's another possibility. Now, rule number 1 of making weapons: don't put anything on the weapon that's going to hurt the user. Okay, so a spike at the back may not be ideal. These, they're really not ideal, but it's cool, damn it. It's not education. I mean, it's not safe. It's a sword. It's educational or something.
Dogu put, what are your names? The master is magnificent.
My name is Dustin Rhodes. I've been forging for 30 plus years. What is it, 32 or 33 years?
I think 32 this year.
Okay, this year would be 32 years I've been forging. And on the ABS ranking, I'm actually an apprentice with the ABS because I didn't start with the ABS. I started with frontier reenactment, so colonial reenactment and so forth. And then I grew from there. I collected antique swords. I instructed swords and martial arts. I made a lot of tomahawks. I use a tomahawk a lot. Cheyenne and I use tomahawks a lot out in the woods. And what I look at here is, this is something that is going to be functional art. Is it going to be something that would be battle ready? When I'm done, yeah, it will. And right now, with the grip and all, I'm pretty happy with this. But I do want to make it somewhat of a showpiece, but the showpiece will not be your pristine, clean piece. I want this to be rustic. I want it to look battle worn. And not a complete orc sword, but, you know, kind of an orc sword.
Bone Checker put, bad ideas turned into cool things. Be careful what you wish/forge.
Oh, absolutely. So I'll show you guys after I get done with this. I'll show you guys some of my other projects that are coming up.
And Dogu Kong, you can also find him on Forged in Fire Season 4 Episode 2, Master of Arms Season 1 Episode 1.
So yeah, you can watch this on TV if you like.
And I was on Season 9 Episode 5.
So I may actually do a stonewash finish to this blade when I'm done, just to kind of bring everything together and give it that dark and mysterious patina. Actually, that will probably level out just fine once that's driven on. So I could drill and pin the handle to the tang. I don't think that's going to be necessary once everything's pinned in place. But I just talked about some of the other projects that are upcoming.
Oh, I showed them all of your pretties that are finished.
If you're a mechanical engineer and you want to make your own knives, that would be great. That would be great. Okay, so this is another falchion, another reverse falchion. You may be wondering why I'm doing reverse falchions, and it's because I think they're neat. One of my favorite reverse falchions is not an example of it here, but the movie Tristan and Isolde, Morholt's sword. It's just a massive, very awesome reverse falchion, and so I got interested in that particular piece. Having the forward weight and the down curve, yeah, you have chopping abilities like an axe, but I would say more like a kukri or a bolo. Now this guard was actually made by Mike Peterson. He is a Forged and Fire alumni. He is right there, if you can see him in that picture. I don't know if you guys can or not. Cheyenne, can you check this just to make sure that I am? You okay?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Just pointing out Mike Peterson.
Yeah, that's him.
Right there. So Mike actually made this guard, and I was like, I really want to put that on a falchion sword. So I may end up using it on this sword, or I may not.
Dominic asked, what is the best material for making a sharp sword?
Good steel. That's the best answer I can give you on that, because different steels are going to have different properties. And properly heat treated, there are many options. I would recommend a spring steel. A sword is more of an edged club than it is a big knife. You do have some swords that are like big knives. A lot of those might be like jungle type tribal pieces.
One person put, "That ain't no sword. This is a sword."
But I wanted to make a companion knife for this, and here's my companion knife for this. This is also forged out of 1080 high carbon, as well as that one. And it's going to be kind of the matchup for that one. And if that doesn't look orcish, I don't know what more I can do. I mean, besides just age it and let it rust and be gnarly. But a cool piece. So these are some upcoming projects.
Dakugan asked, is this sword made for use on a horse?
So it could be. So for cavalry, generally your swords are a bit longer because horses are taller.
In Bone Checker, I do make sure I stay hydrated. I just gotta make sure everyone else is taken care of first.
Now, I'll be totally honest, guys. I'm not that tall. I'm maybe like 5'7" and 180-ish pounds. This is what I do for a living. So, like, as far as cavalry use, I suppose a person could, but I would recommend something. Cavalry, a better option would be like that basket hilt broadsword right there, or a hand and a half, something where you're going to have more length, something closer to at least 40 inches. And this is going to be far from 40 inches. In fact, I'm not sure what the length on this is right now. But I was talking about maybe changing out my guard right here. This is wrought iron, and then it's Damascus. I think it's actually some meteorite Damascus. But the reason I may change to a different guard is because I want something that's going to match this one. So I may, versus trying to replicate that, this one's probably 31 inches. So, I mean, I would recommend something at least 40 inches.
Dominic, get a hold of us through Axon Maine, Forge a Memory on Facebook.
All right. How are we on time? How long has this run so far? I've been having fun.
We are almost at an hour.
Okay. Like how close?
Like 45 or maybe 30 seconds. Now.
Okay, very cool. So we've got more builds coming up. I'm going to probably call it for an evening so we can relax for just a few. And Cheyenne may even have a few pieces that she's going to be working on before bedtime. And with that being said, be sure to subscribe, like and subscribe, share it out, tell your friends. We've got more builds coming up. We've got cutlery reviews. One of my favorite cutlery reviews, besides our cutting videos, has actually been this little knife right here that I picked up at Blade Show. It needs cleaned, but that's a honey badger flipper right there, and I'm quite impressed with it. I want to try carrying this for a year and see how it holds up, but We've got firearm reviews. We've got handle making. We've got bushcrafting. We've got a lot of cool videos coming up. You guys be sure to subscribe. Cheyenne will be in the videos as well. And we'll catch you in a few. Later.